ready to practice some yoga with me. And I am also really happy that I'm here teaching yoga because it's my joy, and to connect with my own self and with all of you through this wonderful gift that we have that we're going to open today. Open our gift of yoga. So thanks for being here with me. And I hope that you will find that gift of the practice of yoga, going inside yourself, and really finding what it is that you need in this moment, in this hour. This is your practice. Do it the way it works for your body. I'll be giving some cueing, some instructions, some guidance, some invitations, and we'll be in this together, but you need to be listening to your own body, paying attention to just exactly what works for you in the practice today. So that said, let's begin with some warm-ups. I'm going to lift those shoulders way up as I inhale, 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 exhale. Let them just flow down the back. Let's do that again. Inhale up. Oh, exhale. And now perhaps a little shoulder roll. Just anything you brought to the mat with you today, let's just let it flow right down the back. Just leave it alone. Let it just flow into the earth. You need it at the end of class. You want to pick it back up again, that's your business. But let's just let it all go right now. And now just find that nice tall seat. Gonna get my groceries out of the way, sit up nice and tall. Find a lot of space in my upper body for the breath. As you begin to notice the breath, it will probably lengthen and deepen all on its own. You don't need to do anything, no forcing. Just allowing the breath to fill and empty. Do a couple more of those breaths, mindful breaths, using the awareness of the breath, noticing the sensations. And then we're going to add a little motion. We're going to inhale the arms up and exhale down. Move a little bit to the side. Inhale up and exhale down. And one last time. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Soften the shoulders down. Soften the elbows down. And perhaps the chin just a little bit forward so you're not stressing the back of your neck. Soft gaze. And find your thumbs pressing into your heart center. Find your tall spine. And find your body. We're going to do a little bit more stretching and opening before we get into our standing postures. We're going to come to tabletop posture, Bharvanasana, hands and knees. And so I'm going to put a little blanket down here underneath my knees because they like that. And come to tabletop, hands a little spread and under the shoulders. We're going to lift the heart and eyes into, some people call this the cow stretch. Exhale. Take the eyes down toward the heart. In your cat, inhale, lifting open. Exhale, round tuck. One more time. Round and tuck. Now tuck those toes under if that works for your feet. Stretch the hips back, press the mat away with those big doggy paw hands and lift open the heart. Just a little puppy dog pose. Back to center, back to tabletop. We're going to look over one shoulder to make a C out of our spine. Other shoulder. And back to center. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, center. Exhale, looking over the shoulder. Use the breath. Back to center. This time we're we're gonna just open our knees a little bit, stretch our hips back, and walk our arms into extended child. Walk them forward, lengthening and soften the heart toward the earth. Opening the chest, opening the armpits, the shoulders, the upper back. And you can walk one hand towards your other hand, or even all the way on top of that other hand to get a little bit more upper body stretch. If that works. And back to center and the other side. Back to center, and then we're going to slide back up to tabletop. We're going to come through downward facing dog. So the way you get, but it's also fine just to stand up however it works for you. You want to come with me through down dog. Tuck the toes. Walk the hands, one handprint forward, and then just begin to hover the knees up, lifting those hips a little bit. And then as it works for you, we're going to stretch. You may want to step your feet apart and stretch the hips up. Beginning to move the head, the heart forward toward the earth. Take a nice full breath here, and if it feels good for you, you can come up onto the balls of your feet, the toe pads. Roll the feet back toward the earth. Those heels may not be reaching the earth, and that's okay. You can bend one knee, stretch the other leg back. Get a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. And then take one more breath in downward dog if it works for you. And we're going to just walk our feet up toward our hand a little bit. We can walk our hands back toward our feet, however we want to get those two together. Press into the feet. Lift all the way up to a tall spine. Press into the feet. I'm going to turn and face you now. Nice full breath, just like we did in our tall seated posture. Finding Tadasana, the mountain posture, connecting heaven and earth, really grounding into the feet like we were growing roots, finding the muscles in our legs, lifting the spine, and then we can open, kind of roll those thumbs to open the fronts of your chest. A lot of us are doing a little computery stuff here. We want to open chest, upper arms, the shoulders. And then if it works for your shoulders, press into the feet. We're going to come all the way up to tall mountain. At this point, soften those shoulders down. Don't wear them for earrings. You can lift your gaze up toward the ceiling if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, just softly gaze forward or even down at the floor. Pressing into the feet, lifting open the heart. Take some nice breaths. Opening the bottom of the rib cage a little bit more. Just find that spacious upper body, that grounded lower body. Turn the palms out. Exhale the hands down. We're going to start with chair this morning. Uttanasana. It's going to be a nice gentle chair, so we want to place our hands on our thighs, tuck our elbows in, zip up those tight jeans, and just like you were sitting on a really, really, really high stool, and the body just slants a little bit forward, but it doesn't round. Press the feet into the earth, spread the toes. You're going to be looking about 3 or 4 feet in front of you so that your head's not dropped down, it's not lifted up. It's just right in line with your spine. And then we're going to just exhale, round forward into a half forward bend. Feel how the back just opens up. You can slide your hands down towards your shins or just let them hang. A little bit of a rag doll. Kind of loosen those arms, let them rotate around a little bit in the shoulder sockets. Kind of like sleeves on a windy day in a clothesline. And then bring the hands back to your thighs for the safest way to get up. Press into the feet and come all the way back up to standing. Take a nice full breath. Inhale. And exhale. So in our warm-ups, we did twist, we did looking over, we did 2 ways, looking over our shoulder, and we did 2 ways, cat and cow. But what we didn't do was our really flexed. So I'm going to just take a little early twist to one side, really flexing that spine, bringing it out like it's a wash rag. It's a rinse of your internal organs and your spinal fluid, and other side. As you exhale, like twisting that wash rag, and you inhale back to the center, and the blood all comes back in. Let's do that one more time. Inhale to center. There we go. And now we've had our 6-way twist. I feel better. So find that tall mountain again, and we're going to just breathe the hands up. Soften the shoulders down. Now turn the thumbs out. Press the air out of the way. Step the feet apart. Turn the palms down. We're going to open those knees over the middle of the feet as much as possible, coming into our God or Goddess pose. We can take our hands and really spread them, open the heart, kind of like pull the elbows back a little bit, press the feet apart, find the roots, find the grounding of the tailbone and the feet and those strong legs. Extend out, shining out into 5-pointed star. We're going to tick-tock our toes and turn to the right. Come into a little bit of a knee bend right over the ankle. Open the hips, lengthen the spine, extend those arms out, and look out over that extended right hand. In Virabhadrasana to Warrior Two posture. I look back at that back hand to make sure it's in line with my front arm. Take a nice full breath and just see if you can find the posture. A little bit more openness in the inner thighs, a little more strength and energy in the arms. And then turn right palm up, follow with your eyes, up overhead, looking to the outside edge of your back left foot, coming into Peaceful Warrior, opening through that whole right side of the body, opening in the armpit, in the shoulder, in that right inner thigh. One more breath. Press the feet apart and inhale back to Warrior Two. Finding the heart focus. Energy arrow from the back fingertips through the heart and at the front fingertips. And then we're going to exhale that front hand to that right thigh. Turn the back palm up. It can stay here. It can come straight up. It could come all the way around to the back, to your opposite hip. But open that top shoulder. See where that arm wants to go today. You can turn and bring it over your ear. But you want to open through that whole front of the body and that whole left side now. In side angle posture. Parshvakonasana. Open for one more breath. Press in the feet. Lengthen through that left side of the body and then inhale up. Back to Warrior Two. We're going to take that series on the other side. So let's just tick-tock the toes around. Come into that little knee bend. Coming back to Warrior Two. This time on the left, gazing out over that left middle finger. Pressing in the feet. Opening the heart. Finding warrior energy, grounded lower body. Powerful upper body. Breathe into the posture, make it yours. And then we're going to exhale that back right hand down. Now sight your gaze over the, as you turn your hand, sight your gaze over the palm and then to the extended middle finger. Follow that up with your eyes. And then roll the head down to look through the heart to the outside edge of that right foot, opening through the left shoulder, the left inner thigh, the rib cage, and breathe. Full breaths. Settling into the posture a little bit more. Just finding how it works for you today. Pressing into those feet. Inhale that top arm up. Come all the way back to Warrior Two. With that heart focus, a little more energy. in the upper body, a little more groundedness in the lower body. Take a breath here, and then we're going to come to that side angle posture again. You can bring the hand down. You can bring the hand in front of the leg if you want to come down a little bit further. This back arm can stay here. It can come for a bind to your other hip. It can come up or over. So find what works for you today. You can look down for grounding and balance, or out, or up at your shoulder, up at your armpit. Press into the feet, open through the right side of the body. Breathe. One more breath. Arsvakonasana. Pressing into the feet. We're going to inhale all the way back. Tick-tock to toes out again. Shine out to five-pointed star. And then we're going to find that God or Goddess posture. Opening the inner thighs. Open the heart, the chest, the shoulders. And really feel the power. Press the feet apart. Find this for one more breath. Extend out. And then we're going to jump or step back to center. Finding tall mountain, our home base posture, Tadasana. The mountain can be hands down, just like this. This is a mountain. Arms can be out. Feet can be together. You can do mountain feet together or feet under your shoulders. And then you can also add the upward raised arms and upward salute. Soften the shoulders, lift the gaze if that works, and breathe. One more breath. Exhale. The arms down. We're going to step the right foot forward, roll that foot down, take that back left foot, step it a little bit back. Find your stance for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana One. You may have the knee bend right over the ankle, pressing into the feet. Inhale those arms up. This is the goalpost arms. This is not mountain. They're a little more open, but find the strength in the arms, the power in the upper body. This is a warrior posture. So you have that strong grounded lower body, lifted, open, and inspired upper body. Forward facing hero, Warrior One. Full breath. Open the rib cage, open the heart, open the throat. For 2 more breaths. And when you're ready, press the feet apart. Sweep the arms back. We're going to bring them right behind our tailbone or our hips. Press the hands together. Open the shoulders, open the heart. Take the tiniest little back bend. Tuck that left front hip a little forward. Opening a little more in that front body. Head stays right in line with the spine. And breathe. Now keeping that knee bend, we're going to clasp a wrist behind our back. Come first to center, and then exhale slightly forward in a modified wise person's posture. Spread the toes, press into the feet. This is where you want to really engage that core. Kind of lift those lower abdominal muscles in and up towards your belly button, towards your spine, and if it works, exhale a little bit further forward. If you're coming forward, press that right sitting bone back. Lengthen the spine from there. So the crown of the head comes forward. That sitting bone goes back. Keep that knee as much as possible over the middle of the foot, coming towards center. Everything wants to stay on center line. And then pressing into the feet, we're going to round. Either leave your hands right here, bring them to your front thigh, and come up. Nice deep breath. Press into that front foot so that you step your feet back to parallel, and we're going to do that on the other side. So take, this time, the right foot back. Find your stance. The knees bend, it's a warrior posture, and maybe that heel's in line with the arch of the back foot, and maybe it's not. Just see what works for you today. I'm going to turn around so you can kind of see how that looks from this angle, if you're watching. Pressing the feet, and we're going to lift and open. Back to warrior Virabhadrasana 1, opening the heart, breathing fully, rib cage expands. Nice, big, full breath. One more. And then we're going to exhale the hands back, palms face. Open the heart, open the shoulders, extend through the arms. And then pressing into those feet, we're going to clasp a wrist, lift the abdominals, and come forward. Knee is bent over the ankle. Again, as you come forward, you can stay very high, or you can put your hands on your front thigh for some support, or you can come a little further down to a deeper wise person's posture. Lengthening the spine, pressing back, this time with that left sitting bone. Crown of the head comes forward. Stay grounded in that back right foot. And breathe. Nice full breath. 2 more. When you're ready to come up, hands can move to that front thigh, round, and roll all the way up. Pressing that front foot to come back to be parallel. Nice full breath. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to step those feet apart again and tick-tock the toes into our split stance, but this time we are not, and my right foot's going to be my lead foot. So we're going to keep that right leg straight but not locked. Shift the hips toward the long edge of the mat, lengthen the spine, extend through the arms, and take triangle, Trikonasana. So we're going to just begin to slide that upper body, slide it toward the right side, lengthening as much as you can. Open those inner thighs. Find strength in those legs. Those thighs are working. And then bring that front arm down to wherever it works for you today. Could be up here, could be down here, to a block if you have one. This back hand can be here. It can be out, it can be up. So just find what works for you in this triangle posture, Trikonasana. But what you really want is to be open in the whole front of the body. Pressing into the feet, you can look down, out, or up. See what works. Pressing into the feet for one more breath. Open a little bit more on that whole left side of the body. Pressing into the feet. Bring yourself back up. And we'll take the reverse. Looking to the outside edge of that back foot and really opening on the right side of the body. And breathe. And enjoy the stretch and the opening. One more breath. Come back to triangle. We're going to stretch back and then forward. And when you come back to Trikonasana, just see if you've gained a little bit more openness in your posture this time. Again, you can look down, you can look out, you can look up. See what your head and neck want to do. Lengthen through that left side of the body. Press into the outside edge of that left foot. Really know where you are. Grow your roots in every standing posture and find center line. Pressing the feet and come back up. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to tick-tock. First, shine out 5-pointed star, and then we'll take the other side. Find your stance. Remember that leg is straight, not locked. This time it's the left leg. You're going to extend that upper body, breathing, and then find your way down to your Trikonasana, your triangle. Just notice how it is on this side. Probably different. Notice where that top arm wants to be. And breathe into this posture, pressing into the feet, lengthening through that whole right side of the body. Keep noticing what it feels like to be in your body in this posture, in this moment. Focusing bringing ourselves inside, pressing into the feet. We're going to take the reverse. Look down, out or up towards your elbow. See what works. Opening through that whole left side of the body. Feel how delicious it is to stretch. And inhale back up. We're going to just experience one more time. Take that stretch back to the right and then forward to the left, finding your way into the second triangle on this side. And breathe and open. Two more breaths. Find the stretch, find the openness in the hips, the length in that right side of the body, and then pressing in the feet, bring it up. Step everything back to center. Take a nice full breath, inhale. And one more time. So chair number 2, Uttanasana. Let's spread those feet a little bit wider, maybe to the edges of the mat. We're going to do a wide open chair. Press the feet apart. Zip up those tight jeans. Just start here with your hands on your thighs and then we'll see where they want to go. But sit on that high stool. Again, those knees want to come over the middle of the feet. Really activate the inner and outer thigh muscles. It's just a nice, firm chair. The whole spine is in alignment. The chakras are in alignment. The vertebrae are in alignment. The head's right in line with the spine. So you're looking a couple feet out ahead of you. So you can take your elbows out to the sides. You can sink down a little further in this chair. That works for you, but keep those lower abdominals lifted. Keep those feet pressing apart. Really find the powerful pose. That is Uttanasana. Press. Lengthen the spine and breathe. Hands can stay here. They can float forward. They can float back. See what works for you today. One more breath. Bring your hands to your thighs. Round to half forward bend. Let your elbows go out to the sides and really experience that openness in the back body. And then roll on up. We're going to walk those feet back together and sweep the arms back up for mountain. Really, let's find center line between the feet through the spine, out the top of the head, right through the palms, right through the top of the head, right through the fingertips. Just find it. Grow the roots. Connecting heaven and earth. We need to ground. And we also need to be inspired. So this is a posture to breathe into. And exhale down. Really enjoying the energy changes that come from the posture. Allow yourself to breathe in those changes and integrate. So let's try a balanced posture. So I'm going to step one step forward on my cross mats because it's easier to balance the less there is between you and a hard floor. So some of my students might step off to the hard floor. Some might go to a wall to have a little finger touch. So you see what you need to do today. The first thing, find center. Center line, grounding just like we just did in mountain. Really settle in those roots into the earth. You're going to shift weight to that left foot. Just subtly shift weight without even moving that right foot. Find center line again. Find a focal point straight in front of you at the wall or a few feet out, down on the floor. Breathe up to the ball of that right foot. And then see if it would just float up to the calf. They need to just come right back down to kickstand, or maybe it floats up a little bit higher. And just stork posture. And you could actually extend the foot, have the knee parallel to the floor. In this posture, you can add arms. Hands can be at your heart. They can be lifted. Zip up those tight jeans, find center for one more breath. Float those arms down if they're up, and then bring that knee back down. Gently placing the right foot back on the earth and finding roots, center, and breath, because we also need balance. If you practice this, your balance will get better. As we get older, we lose balance. It has to do with our proprioceptive system, of our brain nerves not connecting with our feet nerves. So when we really focus on where our feet are, both through this grounding practice and balance, then we begin to rebuild those neurological connections between our feet and our head, and that's what keeps us balanced. So find center, shift weight right this time. Also helps to zip up those tight jeans, really get that nice solid core. Find center again, find your focal point on the floor and the wall in front of you, and float that left foot up. Thickening the spine, full breath. Stay right here, slide it back down whenever you need to, or flex that foot and bring that thigh parallel to the earth. Again, the arms can stay here. They can be here, they can be up, they can be in front at your heart, whatever works. Find the breath, find alignment, find focus. One more breath. Notice it, what it feels like on this side. Could be different, probably is. And then we're going to bring the hands back down, float that foot back down, step it out. Maybe do a little core twisting. We're going to do one more chair. And we're going to have the option here to do balancing chair, but that is not required. Do your chair, your Uttanasana. We're going to start by finding center, grounding our core, zipping up those tight jeans, finding alignment and center, and then just slide down to wherever your high stool is. Keep those elbows tucked in. You can also have your hands crossed at your heart. You can have them at your heart. You can have them in the back or in the front. So when we do the balancing version of chair, let's just start by rolling up the right foot, like the right heel. Now gluing it down. Really find the roots. And then we're going to roll up the left foot. And then glue it down. Spread the toes. Now take the weight shifting forward to the balls of the feet. And let the heels just float up off the mat. You want to really focus on a point on the floor in front of you, lengthening the spine, finding your breath and your alignment. And then roll those feet down. Hands to your thighs. We're going to press the thighs back. Without locking our knees, we're going to straighten our legs and lengthen the spine. So we're in right angle posture. Breathe into it. And now we're going to come to forward bend. When we do this, I want us to really think about, you can keep your hands right here and just bend the torso forward. head toward the earth. Or you can slide the hands down to shins or to the mat. But what I want is to just check if your sitting bones are over your ankle bones. So if you had a mirror at the side of you and you looked, you would see that your legs are straight. Because a lot of times we do this, we kind of press our butt back and our legs come to a slant. But it's more valuable for us to not even come down as far, but keep the sitting bones over the heel bones in this forward bend. Nice full breath. And if it works for you, you can open those feet and have a wider forward bend. You can walk your upper body to one side and really stretch through the back of that leg. Walk to center and stretch through the back of the other leg. And then back to center. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs. Zip up those tight knees. Sink the tailbone down into Malasana. So if you didn't have your feet further apart, you're going to want to move them a little bit further apart for this posture. Round the half forward bend again. And then we're going to come down to hands and knees. So you can come back to forward bend and come through downward facing dog. Or you can go on down to your tabletop posture now. See what works. Find your stretches and your feels. And then come to tabletop. So when we're in tabletop, again, our hands are under our shoulders, our knees under our hips, lengthened spine, lifted lower abdominals. Nice full breath. Staying in this posture, we're going to round into cat tuck, lift, heart and eyes forward into sunbird, and now stretch back into extended child. Walk those hands forward. Sink the armpits and heart toward the earth. If you want to open your knees a little bit and sink the belly toward the earth, that might feel good. Shift the hips from side to side. Just really ground and take some rest. Allow your body to integrate the changes that we've made. Now we're going to walk ourselves back to tabletop. Now you can stay right here in tabletop and do your cat and cow stretches. Or you can come with me to modified plank. So in modified plank, we're going to just walk our knees back a little bit so that our upper body becomes more like a slant board. So we're not rounded, we're just straight out from the knees to the hips to the shoulders, head in line with the spine. Take a nice deep breath here. And then stretch back to child. And you can either stay here in child if you want a little bit of a break. You can come back to modified plank, or you can come up to full plank by tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Finding hands under the shoulders, lifted lower abdominals. Nice full breath in plank. Come down when you need to, or come to modified plank, or come to the tabletop posture and do your cat and cow stretches. And then everybody meet in child for a nice full breath or two. Now I'm going to slide forward on my mat so that my elbows are under my shoulders. I'm open in my heart Press into that lower body. Press into the tops of the feet, the hips. Now it's almost like you wanted to pull the mat back towards your hips. And you kind of peel open that heart a little bit, lifting the gaze up toward the ceiling, but not stretching your head back. Opening into the Sphinx. This is the tiniest little back bend, really. You want to keep that lower body glued to the mat and just open the front upper spine. One more breath. And roll down. Press back to child. And then coming back to tabletop, we're going to find our way into S posture. So see if you can bring that right knee forward and turn onto that right hip, kind of making a little kickstand, a little bent knee on that left knee. There, so you can more see what I'm doing here. So in S posture, or deer posture, you can imagine that road sign where they tell you there's a deer crossing and they're kind of leaping. That's why they call it deer posture. That's yin yoga. We're going to find a little bit of a stretch by pressing that back left hip forward. Just a tiny little bit for me. I feel the stretch in my hip flexor. So if you want to make it a little bit more, you can kind of take a little twist, looking over your right shoulder, opening the heart. You know, this is a really good time also to take your chin to your right shoulder and find a nice little neck stretch too. And breathe. And if you're looking over that right shoulder, bring it back. We're going to take our left hand back toward our left foot and lift and just kind of look toward that left side. We're not really going to look over the shoulder from here. And breathe. So we can do that, this S posture up, but we can also take it forward. Now if you've got pillows and blankets, this is a good time to just kind of stretch with pillows and blankets. Or if you're a person who loves pigeon, you can stretch that back leg out and come to pigeon posture, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, resting pigeon. Nice stretch in the gluteal muscles of that right leg. And breathe. And then we're going to bring ourselves up. And we're just going to kind of turn and do it on the other side. So however that works for you, we're going to have that front leg bent and that back leg bent into the S. And again, just opening, kind of pressing forward with that right hip this time. And give you a nice stretch in the hip flexor. And you can also take that twist, looking over that left shoulder, perhaps the neck stretch. And breathe. And then we're going to inhale back to center if you were over that left side. And we're just going to reach back and kind of look over toward the right. And breathe. And inhaling forward, you can just bring yourself just to your hands to the leg and kind of come forward, or maybe your forearms come down a little further, or perhaps you stretch that back leg and come into resting pigeon. And breathe. Find the openness with your breath. If there's a tight place, imagine you could either breathe in and out of that place or send your out breath to that place. Really notice what's happening in your body. Where's the stretch? Not going past that initial edge of I'm stretching does not need to be painful. And when you're ready, we're going to press ourselves back up. Turn again. And this time we're going to extend the legs forward. Getting up on those sitting bones, getting the groceries out of the way. Let's find seated mountain. Find that grounding again. This time we're grounding through the backs of our legs, through our sitting bones and our tailbone, pressing through the balls of the feet and the heels, lengthening the legs, which engages the core. So we're engaged, we're grounded through that whole lower body, just as we are when we're in standing mountain. So we can add the same arms. We can come to wide open mountain arms, or we can come to the lifted arms. Supta Tadasana, seated mountain. Open the heart, lift the gaze. Expand the rib cage as you breathe. Feel what a good core strengthener this is. And also your legs, as you push those feet away, keep engaging the arms by pressing the air between your hands. But keep the shoulders soft and gaze lifted for one more breath. Exhale the arms down. Now we're going to just plant little tended hands. Tense your fingertips. Plant them back behind your hips. Press into those fingertips. Zip up those tight jeans. Lift open the heart into the tiniest little backbone of staff. Dandasana, the stick. Feel the good core strengthening that this posture offers. And also a little opening in the heart, the shoulders, the throat, the lifted gaze. And again, keeping the head right in line with the spine, not dropping it back and letting the chin come up, because that compromises the vertebrae in the back of your neck. The cervical vertebrae do not want to be pinched together. Everything wants to be open. Rib cage, spine, heart, and throat. And exhale back, seated mountain, back to center. Keep your hands back there and just flatten them out. Shake those legs out. Windshield wiper the feet. Rotate the ankles. You can point and flex, spread the toes, whatever works. And now we're going to bring our right foot in toward our shin or our thigh into tree leg. Get up on those sitting bones for our Janushirshasana, which is a forward bend with one leg. So you can rest hands at thigh. You can slide them a little further down, but lengthen through that leg just like we did in that seated mountain. We're going to press that heel away, lengthen and stretch. Just lengthen the spine on the inhale, lengthen the leg, and on the exhale, soften a little bit further down. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, soften. 2 more breaths. Really find your stretch. Just see where it is for you today. You can also round that low back. If you think, I really don't want another hamstring stretch, what I want is a back stretch, you can round into the yin version of this pose. So see what your body wants to do today. And then we're going to gradually walk ourselves back up. Keep that leg out there. Zip up your jeans. We're going to lift that knee up toward our chest. And see if you can keep your upper body upright. So you're pressing into your sitting bones and you're lengthening your spine and you're opening your heart. And now we're going to reach for that leg wherever we can. Maybe we can grab the ankle. Just see where you can reach. Sit up nice and tall. And we're going to rock the baby. Opening that hip. Just a little rocking for that baby. Now, you can keep doing the rocking if that hip opening feels just awesome, or you can take the leg and stretch it out. Now, some of us are going to have to keep a real bent knee. Some of us are not. Just see what works. Lengthening that leg, sitting up nice and tall, getting a nice stretch and a core strengthener. Zip up those jeans, lift those lower abdominals, open the heart, lift the gaze, And then bring that foot down. We're going to take the other leg straight out from our hip. Get up on those sitting bones. Get that nice tall spine. Press through the ball of the foot. I'm just going to turn so you can more maybe see what I'm doing in terms of this back thing. So press into the foot, lengthen the spine. Take a nice full breath. And then begin your slow walk forward. Just see where your stretch is. You don't want to go past that first edge. You don't need to. Go to the first edge where your body says, yes, I'm stretching. And then breathe into it. And if you feel a little opening, breathe more. Come a little further down. If you feel like that was too far, back off. Find your stretch. And take a few more breaths here, just noticing opening in the back of the leg perhaps. So I'm keeping a flat back, so I really stretch through my hamstring. But if you want to take that back stretch, you're going to just round over that leg. Nice full breath. Lengthen on the inhale and soften on the exhale. Long, slow exhalations will increase your flexibility. Take one more. And then walk yourself up. We're going to lift that knee up, zip up those jeans. See if you can find a nice core work here. And then, however you can get that leg, we're going to rock that baby on this side. Opening the hip, the gluteal muscles a little bit. Take one more breath here, and then you can either stay there because it feels great, or maybe you want to do a little bit more hamstring stretch. So just see what works. But you want to keep that back lengthening and not rounding. You want to keep the heart open, core zipped. One more breath, and then set that foot down. So now, you might have one leg in front of the other, or the ankles are crossed. We're going to do another stretch for the back side. This is Lambasana, the fire log posture. So one version of this actually has us with ankles crossed, and I love this. So you can do this with crossed ankles. You can do this with one leg in front. You can do this with one leg stacked on the other. And if that is just not enough for you, you can stack your knees. So we'll just see, but this is Lambasana, fire log, because we're stacked, our legs are stacked, and we're just going to lengthen the spine and begin to walk forward, again finding our stretch, the stretch that's your stretch, the stretch that feels good for you, that feels right for you. Breathing into that stretch. Just noticing what's there for you. This is a lovely stretch to turn into a yin posture, which means you stay in it for a long time. You have blankets and pillows, and you just roll yourself onto that so that you can feel comfortable in the stretch and just stay supported in the stretch. But we're not doing yin yoga right now. Maybe we will sometime. So we're just going to take a couple more breaths, finding your stretch on this side of Lambasana. And when you're ready, you're going to walk yourself back up. Now again, when we do the other side, you don't necessarily have to do the same version you just did. So if you get into the version you just did and you go, oh, that doesn't work, you could cross ankles. You can have one leg crossed in front, or again, you can have them stacked or the knees stacked. But you want to be up on those sitting bones. You want a nice tall spine. And begin by bringing your heart forward. Finding your stretch. Breathing into it. Noticing what's opening. Noticing how it feels. Being with your body in this moment. again, that's Lambasana Fire Log. Now you can stay here with crossed legs, or you can find whatever comfortable seated position works for you. But what we're going to do now is a little bit of back stretch, just because so many of us have been doing either too much computer work and doing this, or maybe we've been doing a lot of yard work. And that's really good, but it can leave us with some back issues. So I'm going to start by exhaling and rounding into cat. My chin comes toward my chest, toward my heart, my arms softly resting, my hands resting on my legs. Opening space at the back of the heart, all the way through the back of the spine. And breathe. Now pressing into my sitting bones, I'm going to lift, lengthen, and open. And I'm going to create more space at the front of the heart by rolling the shoulders back and down. I'm going to slide my hands, tent those fingers again back behind my hips like we did in staff posture. Kind of press into those fingers, lift up those lower abdominals, and open the chest into a tiny little back bend. And breathe. And I'm going to come back to center. I'm going to take a nice side stretch now because I want to do our six-way stretch in the spine. You can kickstand one hand to the side and come hand here, here, or up for that side stretch. And inhale back to center. We're going to do the other side. When you do this, if you want more side stretch, you can actually take your hand to your opposite thigh. Or you can kickstand it for a little bit less. So see what your body wants. Stretching open the other side now. For balance, and breathe. And inhale back to center. And I always like to end practice with a twist. So in my tradition, in the lineage that I grew up in, we always twisted to the right first. The right is your yang side. It's the letting go. It's the releasing. It's the active side. So you can take one hand in front and one in back, or if you want a little more stretch, take that left hand to the right thigh, tent that right hand in the back behind your hip, lengthen the spine, and then take your center line to the right. Not your head and shoulders. They go along for the ride. Just take that center line around, and then if it works for you, you can take your head and look a little bit more over that right shoulder, releasing, letting go of anything that you don't need. Just let it go back out to the universe for healing. And take a breath. And on your next inhale, bring your head around. And then the torso. Find center. Ground the sitting bones, settle in, and we'll take the other side. So again, this is the left side, the yin side, the receiving side. And so as we lengthen and take ourselves around to that side, we are opening to what it is that we need, what do we want to receive. And then if it works for you, you can take your head a little more over the left shoulder, lengthening the spine, but always turning from center line. Staying balanced, staying grounded in both of those sitting bones. And receive with the in-breath. And then inhale the head back around, and then the torso. Take a moment right here to find that center and really feel how your body is in this moment. And we'll prepare for Shavasana, our resting posture. So in the resting posture, you can lay down with your hands out, palms facing up a little away from the hips, and your legs out with your insides of your feet folded open. And that's traditional, laying down that way. But if that's not comfortable for you, find what is comfortable for you. You can have your knees, lay down with your knees bent. You can be on your side. Just do what works for you. You might want to have a little towel or pillow or something, blanket under your head. You might want something under your knees if you're laying down. Just find what works for you, what's the most comfortable place for you. I'm going to stay seated so that I can talk to you, but you get in your comfortable resting posture, because this is the time when your body has the opportunity to really feel the practice, integrate the changes that we've made with the physical postures on the anatomy and also on the energy. So you want to really give yourself this opportunity to get still and quiet. Allow the body to sink into the earth, finding the support of the earth, finding rest. And as you feel held up, really take that in. If at any time you need to move into a different posture or just do a little wiggle of some sort to make yourself 5 or even 3% more comfortable, just do that. Give yourself the gift of relaxation, complete rest. We could start by opening the teeth a little. Just part the teeth and let the mouth just slightly open. Feel how as the jaw opens and relaxes, the rest of the face follows. Notice a heaviness in the eyelids as the eye muscles relax. The eyeballs just sinking a little bit deeper and floating down in the head. The muscles of the forehead and the temples soft and relaxed. Relaxation moving into the throat and the neck. Shoulders relaxing. Feel how space is created in between the shoulder blades as the back of the heart sinks into the earth, opening the chest, opening the fronts of the shoulders, and let that relaxation travel down the arms and into the hands and fingers. Noticing relaxation as it travels down the back. The low back sinks. Into the mat. Finding relaxation in the front of the body and the chest and the ribs and the belly. Full relaxation flowing down through the hips, low back sinking into the mat, the hips opening, the legs lengthen, and the relaxation travels into the lower legs and ankles and feet and toes. Finding peace. Begin to notice the breath again. As you notice your breath lengthen and deepen, allow yourself to really integrate, really bring everything to center, focused on the breath, focused on the body, we can begin to also notice that subtle energy body. The energy flows through the body, that life force energy, every breath in bringing more energy, every breath out releasing whatever it is we don't need from our body, from our psyche, from our energy. So take a few of those cleansing breaths, bringing in what you need, releasing what you no longer need, what no longer serves you. And then notice if there's a stretch or a movement bubbling up, perhaps small movements of the fingers and toes, perhaps a full body stretch, or maybe the knees want to just fold in toward the chest. Just see what your body wants to do. Some gentle rocking, just allowing yourself a gradual awakening. Coming back with a sense of relaxed energy that will carry you through the rest of your day. So yoga both relaxes us and it energizes us. When you're ready to press yourself to seated, you can roll to one side, take a breath there, and then using your top arm to press into the earth for support, bring yourself up to seated without stress in your low back. When you come up to a comfortable seated position, just float your eyes closed and take a moment to notice grounding, settling of the lower body, lengthening the upper body. Notice the energy. And then bring your hands to heart center. Tuck the chin in a little bit towards your heart, opening space, back of the heart. Lift the chest, a little opening space at the front of the heart. Feeling the heartbeat. And give yourself this gift of yoga by sealing it with gratitude. And then, as you're ready, we'll offer Namaste. Namaste, yogis. I see the light in you, and I am grateful for our time together. And I hope I'll have a chance to see you again soon here at Soulful. And in the meantime, I'm holding down the fort. I'm leaving the lights on.